What is up, guys? My name is Greg. I'm a digital artist, and I'm here today to talk to you about some of the crazy art that exists in Magic the Gathering. Today's focus is actually going to be on the color red. We're not just talking lightning bolts, grape shots, and chaos warps. We're going to be talking about some of the crazy art that exists all the way back from red cards and alpha and on. So without further ado, let's get started. The first card of the day is a card that has been printed 6 times with 3 different artist renditions. This card is Giant Strength. Now, upon first glance, this looks like a grumpy looking Gimli. Not giant at all comparatively to the vehicle he's pulling. He's got big old boots on, a belly that takes up about half of his size, and a frown that cannot be turned upside down. What I love about this is that immediately afterwards in the 5th edition, they changed the art. And that's what lasts for 5th and 6th edition. And then they bring it back a little bit later in the Legends edition. I wonder if upon first glance, they're like, I don't know, maybe we'll just shake things up. So one thing that did remain consistent from the 4th edition all the way to Legends was the flavor text. Oh, it is excellent to have a giant's strength, but it is tyrannous to use it like a giant. This is a quote by William Shakespeare. And I fact checked it. It actually is a William Shakespeare quote. So, you know, one-ups the Chub Toad nursery rhyme, I guess. Let's move on to our next card. So taking a look at this next card, it's only ever been printed once, and this was in the Legends set. This card is called Backdraft. I think this card's really funny given the fact that we don't really have a lot of mono red reflection cards. This is going to be actually dealing half of the damage rounded down that a sorcery can cast. So you are limited to only sorceries and not just allowing instant spells to be reversed as well. But if we take a look at that art, we have this gentleman that's casting a spell from some sort of amulet, and the wind is blowing backwards towards him, quite literally a backdraft, sending this spell right back towards him to deal half of that damage. I think that's quite clever. My favorite part about this art, though, is if we zoom in, take a look at that body armor. I don't know what it is. This guy looks like he's got his tongue sticking out. I don't know what's going on there, but I think it makes me think of my pug that has like no teeth. That's tongue is always hanging out. Now to our next card. This card's quite funny. It's only been printed once in Legends. The art is hilarious, and it is a mono red spell for 1 mana. This is Dwarven Song. We see a couple of gentlemen here holding their manuscripts. They have hair and massive beards and no hair on the top. Total skullet. We got one gentleman that's like, I can't tell if it's his index finger or his thumb that's up. He's like, yeah, that's good. We have one gentleman that's like holding his hand out, like in that Bugs Bunny skit to try and get him to like hold his voice out the whole time. Oh. And then finally, the gentleman in the back's just like zoned right out, just looking into the abyss. Like, I don't know what's going on. I just got the Evite and showed up. This is pretty outrageous, but I really want to draw attention to the noses of each of these characters. Tell me that doesn't give you like Jim Carrey, Grinch, Whoville vibes. Also reminds me of the Puffs Plus commercials. I don't know if that was just a Canadian thing or not, though. With these guys with massive noses, skullets, manuscripts, fingers that look like thumbs, and they're all having a great time just singing. You know how it is. All right, we're moving on to our last card. Now this card is the card of the day. Card of the day. This card is the card of the day for a number of reasons. It is terrifying. It is hilarious. It reminds me of playing in like a Chuck E. Cheese or a small arcade as a child, except this is more nightmare fuel than anything. This card is Burrowing. Now, Burrowing has been printed 6 times, all with the same art. Wizards of the Coast clearly just wants to scare you senseless with this deranged mole. Tell me this isn't the one mole coming back for revenge after decades of being hit in whack-a-mole. He's got claws as big as his arms. He's got a horn. He's got a smile only a mother can love. And if you take a look at the trail that he's blazed for himself, this guy's got some power behind him. I like that this card can give a creature mountain walk, meaning that that creature can't be blocked if the player that they're attacking controls a mountain. I think it's pretty funny. You know, they can go underground. They can utilize this guy's talents in order to sort of follow him on his path with the fellow mole people and living in their all-welcoming underground sanctuary as he trots his way over to hit a player for 5 damage. I think the thing that sticks out to me is more so its eyes and its mouth. So if you isolated every part of this and you only had its eyes and its mouth, that would be the one thing that I wouldn't want to wake up seeing in the middle of the night. He's got shady, buggy little eyes too. They're like shifty. They look like one of those paintings that, like, no matter where you are in the room, they're always staring at you. So, like, even if you're, like, all the way over there, like, trying to have a cocktail and, like, talk to your friends, is still watching you. And you're just, like, kind of on edge and kind of don't know if this guy's going to come and bury you alive. I think what I really appreciate about this, though, is that through all 6 iterations of this, the card has gotten gradually more colorful and gradually brighter. So by the time we make it to the 6th edition, this mole is standing right in front of a beautiful, lush green field, beautiful sky, and still with his beady little eyes looking to hunt you down. So that concludes today's episode of Outrageous Magic the Gathering art for the color red. If you enjoyed what you like, be sure to like, subscribe, and if you have any art suggestions for Magic the Gathering or other card games, be sure to comment below. Take care, and we'll see you soon.